Hello, thank you so much for tuning in to this video series. This one is going to focus on college admission requirements and the A to G list. So let's get going. All right. So for our students that are considering public California universities, this would be University of California, or for short, we call it the UC, or Cal State University, which is short, the CSU. They have this thing called A to G requirements. And these are the courses that they're saying are necessary in order for students to be eligible for admission at those universities upon graduation. And so if you'll look on the far left of this screen, you'll see it says area. It starts with A and it goes all the way down to G. So that's what they call the A to G list. What we're going to do is we're going to go one by one to show you what does Berean offer in order to meet these requirements and make sure that your student is eligible for that four-year university. Area A is what we call the social science. This is our histories as an example. And so for Berean graduation, students need 3 years to graduate with this. And so that already is going to surpass what the eligibility requirement is for the colleges. So that's perfect, especially anytime a student goes above and beyond what that minimum requirement is. They're in really good shape for those colleges. The ones that our students are going to take in 9th grade, it's going to be world history. And then in 11th grade, they'll take either U.S. history or AP U.S. history. And then in 12th grade, they can do U.S. government or they can do AP U.S. government. Those are all first semester or one semester long. And then the other semester, they will do economics. And then we have additional classes if they'd like to add on other social sciences. So we have AP European history, which is 10th through 12th grade. And then we also have AP comparative government, which is again, sophomore through senior year available to students. For the B category or B area, that's what we have for English, in which it's 4 years required for both Berean graduation and for the UCs and the Cal States. So in 9th grade, there's actually 2 options. There's English 1 and English 1X. Then as a sophomore, students can take English 2 or Honors English 2. Then for junior year, we have 2 options, American Literature or AP English Literature. And then senior year, there are 3 options. We have British Literature, Honors Shakespearean Literature, or AP English Literature. Now there's a caveat. For those of you that are interested in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, they actually like to see 5 years of English. And so a lot of times students will supplement that with an additional English through an online high school outside of Berean, or sometimes they'll supplement it at, let's say, DVC and take another college level course. They're the only ones that are in this boat. The UCs do not have this as even a recommendation. And then other Cal States don't really have this option, but Cal Poly's that unique one that likes to see 5 years of English. For our C area, this is the math category. And so both Berean and the Cal States and the UCs require 3 years. So our Cal States and our UCs are specific, but they would like to see Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 at minimum. But as you see, 4 years is recommended. Okay. And so for those of our students that have done the Algebra 1A, 1B sequence, those 2 courses together count as Algebra 1. So students still need to be able to get to Algebra 2 by the time that they're heading off to the college. So we have our Algebra 1, Geometry, we have our Algebra 2, or students can take Advanced Algebra 2 Trig. And then we also, after that, offer more advanced math, AP Pre-Calc, AP Calculus AB, AP Statistics, or Sports Statistics. And then we also, as you'll see a little asterisk there, we have AP Computer Science A, not to be confused with Computer Science Principles. Generally, especially if you're looking at out-of-state universities or if you're looking at just graduation requirements in math, computer science will not count for that. However, for the Cal States and the UCs, they do categorize this AP Computer Science A course as an additional math. So I just want to break apart this roadmap. And so at first glance, it might look a little busy, but I encourage you to just spot on here where you're at, what math have you taken, what math is next for you to take, and where you'd like to go. And so, every student is going to at some point be taking algebra or the Algebra 1A and 1B. They're going to take geometry. And then after that, they'll either do the Advanced Algebra 2 or they'll do that Standard Algebra 2. And then from there, what I would just encourage is follow the arrow to see what math in the Advanced area is possible for you while you're in high school, and then also what grade you need in that prior course to be ready and the most successful possible for that level of math. So some, it might say, a C is required to move forward. With some, it's a B, and with some, it's an A. And so watch this closely. And if you have any questions, never hesitate to contact me or contact Miss Grieb about which math course might be the best fit for you, especially if you're thinking through your full 4-year plan and where you'd like to be when you graduate from Berean. Okay, let's move on to our sciences. And so both for graduation and for the UC Cal State requirements, we're looking at 2 years, 1 life and 1 physical science. But as you see with those UCs and those Cal State, they really do recommend 3 years. I also want to give a shout out to those out-of-state colleges that our students might be considering. Many other states actually require 3 years. So we're actually in California on the lower end for that, just requiring 2. If you're looking out of state at other universities, just make sure that you check out that admission requirement with science to see if it would be in your best interest to take a 3rd year. All of our students are going to start with biology. That's going to be in 10th grade. And then as either junior or senior, we'll make sure that they get that physical science requirement in there. But look at your options beyond. Once you take the life and you take your physical science, look at your options. We have human anatomy and physio. You can take AP biology in our life science options. With our physical sciences, to cover that 1-year requirement, look at your options. We have astronomy, honors astronomy, chemistry, AP chemistry, physics, and AP Physics 1. Then we have these additional science courses. So although they're not going to substitute in for a life or a physical science, it is a way that you can get that 3rd year in. That's where we have AP Computer Science Principles, and then we have our engineering sequence. We have Introduction to Engineering, Principles of Engineering, and we have aerospace engineering. In our languages other than English, or our area E, Berean doesn't necessarily have the language other than English requirement if a student takes the visual or performing art in place of that. However, for our Cal States and our UCs, 2 years of the same language, 3 years recommended. And how the UCs and the Cal State also use this term, sometimes it's interchangeable with levels. So if a student, let's say, as Spanish 2 in high school, then once they finish Spanish 2, they've met their requirement because it's based on levels, not necessarily years. 3 years is recommended. So they really do like to see students continue on with that next level to show consistency, to show commitment to it, and desire to learn another language. And so we have Spanish 1, 2, 3, and we have AP Spanish language. And then we also offer American Sign Language 1, 2, and level 3. Then we have our visual and our performing art, which is our F area with the UCs and the Cal States. And so just kind of in reverse of what I said with the language other than English, Berean graduation requirement, you don't have to meet the visual or performing art if you've done the 1 year of the language other than English. However, for our Cal States and our UCs, 1 year of this art is required. So we have drama and stagecraft, we have band, we have choir, we have art 1, 2, and we have AP art options. And then we have 2 levels of graphic design and digital photography. So a lot of options available to you in order to fulfill this requirement and continue forward if you'd like to take even more than the 1 year. And then we have this G area, which is college prep electives. For Cal States and UCs, it says that 1 year of this is required. And how you can meet this is by going above and beyond in any of the other categories that we mentioned. So if you decide, let's say you take 1 year of art and then you take another art, that can help fulfill this G elective. Anything that goes above the required courses from the other areas can be used as this G elective. Then we also have other G elective. We have athletic training, we have advanced athletic training, and then we also have AP psychology. So that is going to be the end of our series on learning A to G for the Cal States and the UCs. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm Mrs. Tegeler, and here's my email on the right side for you. And then we also have Miss Grieb, her emails on the left side. So any questions you have, feel free to pass them along and we'll be happy to help you as you go about your high school journey. Well, you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.